Welcome to the May Garden Tour. My garden is in Zone 9B and it's northeast facing. I also have clay soil and I struggle most with slugs and snails. My garden, being northeast facing, has got a lot of shade, though in the height of summer, some of the shadier parts do get more sun than usual. I do have a full shade spot in the garden and I also have a vegetable part of the garden, so you shall see it all shortly. The hostas, which I keep elevated, are doing quite well. They've got a few nibbles, but all in all, they are thriving. They have had some of their edges burnt, but nothing too severe. My hydrangea is coming along nicely. I got this hydrangea last year and it has not yet flowered, so I'm looking forward to it flowering. It is showing some signs of new leaves, so we shall see whether it flowers. My evergreen azaleas have finished blooming, so I leave them in part shade for the rest of summer. My Thalictrum de la Valle are also looking well. They look like they are nearly blooming. Well, not quite nearly, but I can see signs that they'll be blooming in the next few weeks. I have two peonies and they seem to be at a 45-degree angle. I probably should have staked them. It could simply be they're not in enough sun. The story behind the two peonies is that I had one peony that I wanted to move to the right. I somehow left a little bit in and I've ended up with two gorgeous plants. This is my mystery plant, also referred to as the Catoniaster. The bees love it. My two fuchsias are out and they usually flower from midsummer all the way till first frosts. That's about November time. I also have my two alyssums. They actually overwintered, which is a first for me when it comes to alyssums. They're looking absolutely stunning and I'm happy to have them in the garden. The rose is simply stunning. I pruned it around January, February time, and then I added some chicken manure in March, April time before mulching it with some rose compost. I also ensured that I watered it every week. That's like a bucket full every week, and it's absolutely thriving. I do not spray it or anything, so this is how it is without being sprayed. This is the sunniest part of the garden. And I grow fruit and vegetables and quite a lot of flowers as well. These daisies self-seeded from last year. I started them from seed back in 2023, and since then they self-seed and I just move them around to suit. This particular lavender, I got it for the front garden, but it doesn't look very well, so I've just decided to leave it at the back. This plant next to the lavender is called a willow herb. It's actually considered a weed, partly because it spreads rapidly and all over the garden. You shall see them all over my garden. I think they're pretty, so I do leave them in the garden. They do spread quite a bit, but they're quite easy to weed. I've had these blueberries since 2023. There are two of them here, and I've got two others in another part of the garden. They're quite easy to grow. You can grow them in a container. I wouldn't be able to grow them in my soil because it's clay soil, because they need a lot of drainage. But you can get a container. You can see some of the sizes that I'm showing in the video. So a good container, some drainage, ericaceous compost, and you position them in a spot that has got as much sun as you can. They need a lot of sun. Currently, where they are, I think they get over 8 hours of sun in the height of summer. The birds in my area as well, they don't seem to eat the blueberries, which is a good thing. The alliums and daffodils that I planted in this back raised bed did very well. These are the alliums, and they are flowering, and they actually attract quite a lot of bees as well. Very soon I'll be digging them all out, refreshing the soil, and then I'll be adding my sweet corn. This is my echinacea, absolutely loved by the bees. I grew this one from seed. I think I had a whole packet and I only ended up with one echinacea. You can now see the rest of the willow herbs I mentioned earlier. They're all growing across the wall. It's going to be a wall of pink flowers. And then it's going to be a lot of weeding after. I have got garlic, radish, and onions in this first raised bed. I have been harvesting all of them to use in cooking. These two are my salvias. I lost one, a smaller one, over winter, but I still have these two. They grow such delicate flowers and they are absolutely loved by the pollinators. I did a video on this. This is my salad garden. The spinach is holding on. It's been quite warm. We've had some really, well, not warm, we've had some really hot days. The spinach is holding on. I'm surprised it hasn't bolted because it usually prefers cooler temperatures. The lettuce always looks a bit rough because it's been raining as well. So when the rain hits it, it gets a bit flat. My violas have also been affected by the heat, so most of them have just collapsed. That's the thing with violas. When it gets warm, they just collapse. I have some primroses on the ground that are adding a bit of greenery. I divided the heucheras last year. That's why I've got so many of them in the same color. Right in the corner, you can hardly see it. It's actually my compost bin. Usually it's recommended that compost bins are in full sun, but I cannot do that in my garden. So I have it in this shady spot, but I still get quite a lot of compost, so it also still works. Okay, so just finishing off with a shot of the rose before I show the full garden. I have already deadheaded this rose a few times. Deadheading means removing the spent blooms. So it is a stunner, absolute stunner. I would definitely recommend it. Initially when I got it, I thought maybe the color was too bright for me, but I have definitely fallen in love with it. It's got such a gorgeous perfume. And this is the whole garden. So I've got my part shade border, the vegetable garden, and then I have the full shade garden on the right. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.